Welcome to the life for someone under 4 feet, man. I know, guys, my followers been mad at me. Like, where has been our favorite YouTuber been? Where has he been, man? But this pandemic had me busy. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. But I got a special treat today. I got my good friend, David Jr., New York City. How you doing there, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. First off, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, sure. You can ask me
What
whatever you
made you
want.
think it's a good idea to come on a Yankee fan show wearing a Chicago White Sox hat on, please? Can you please answer that question first?
Because I got on a black Christian Dior sweatshirt. I don't want to wear a Yankee hat and wear it blue because you kind of, you're crossing colors. So I don't want to
Oh,
cross
wow.
colors.
I'm
You know.
sorry, we got Kristen Dior over here. Kristen Dior, oh my God. Oh my God. But this is my good friend David. I know him for many years. David is a very nice guy. Stuff like he's a great guy. He's a Giants fan. I don't like him because of that. The only thing I don't like about him is a Giants
That's
fan. I
right.
hate that. But he's a great heart, and there's more. I don't know what else to say, man. But David, tell my YouTube family about a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Like I said, I'm David Jr. I live in New Jersey. I'm half Italian, half German. I'm very close to my family. I live about 10 blocks actually from my parents' house. And the reason I live so close to my parents is because obviously I have an autistic brother. So that's why I live very close to my parents. Um, I do have a corporate job. I do IT work. And also I do have I work at night. So pretty much I work for Real Talent Management. We book the biggest DJs in the world, the biggest celebrities in the world. And that's pretty much what I do on the weekends. But during the week, I work for an IT consulting company. And that's pretty much it.
Gotcha, man. David's a busy man. I see you over there, busy, bro.
That's
Corporate
right.
job, the daytime party, that pop, blah, blah, blah. Man, you got lit in the nighttime, man. Oh my God, oh my God. So, David, I got a question to ask you, buddy. How
Yeah.
many years difference is between you and your brother?
We're 4 years, no, 3 years apart. Sorry.
3 years apart. And are
Yep.
you older or is he older?
I'm older, believe it or not.
Your older brother, okay. Now, as an older brother during your childhood, like, how was your childhood with your brother? Like, I know with my achondroplasia, it was not easy for my little sisters. When they were little, they were already in defensive mode. When people were saying that to them.
Yeah. So
How
like
were
when
you as an older brother?
I was very into sports. I had a very strict family. My family was very much like it's about schoolwork and then sports. And with my brother being autistic, I was very overprotective of him. So pretty much a story I tell everybody is, I played football and basketball in high school. And, after a game where we would win or whatever it is, they'd be like, you come to party. And it's like, nah, I can't actually have to babysit my brother. And people would be like, what are you talking about? And I would have to always explain, like, I have an autistic brother. Like, my parents deserve a normal life, just like how I do. And growing up, my brother was really bad with his autism. So pretty much he would yell. He's nonverbal, so he can't talk, but he would yell. He would, make hand movements like this. Like you could tell he had something wrong with him. And, people would say something under their breath, like, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with him? They would laugh. They would point. I had a pretty bad temper, but pretty much it's not willing to throw anything away because of that, because you can't change people.
Okay.
Um, as you know, like people want to stare, people want to do like stare. Like I understand why they stare.
Yeah.
It's not normal,
Yeah.
So like I don't care, but it's just like you should probably know after 5 minutes of staring, there's probably something wrong with him. So
Gotcha.
that's pretty much what I dealt with pretty much my whole life.
Gotcha. Yeah, 100%. I gotta agree with you, though, but the stairs, like, they love to stare at something, bro. Happens to me all the time, especially with the phone cameras, bro. Don't get me started with the phone cameras, bro. I feel like a celebrity every time I go with my boys. It's like, I can't even hang out in peace with my friends. You wouldn't believe. One time, me and my right hand man, we went to a Pakistani restaurant. We went to go
uh,
with my fast because I fast in the month of Ramadan. So he's an
yep,
Italian kid. We share holidays with each other. So I celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving with him, and Easter.
yep,
And when it comes to my holidays, he comes out with me and open my fast, stuff like that with me. So we go to a restaurant, and I don't like to walk that much. If you see me in person, you know my fat don't like to walk that much. So I jump out the car, bro. And the moment I jump out the car, this family because he had a big car. He has a Jeep SLTs for some reason. He thinks
Yep.
that's cool. And I jump out the car, and there's this family sitting right in front of me inside the restaurant, staring at me dead shot. I'm like, oh god. Then I get into the restaurant, and I'm Punjabi, and they started talking shit. I'm like, yo, y'all dragging me. And then the waiter thought this was his dumb ass thought it was a good idea to put us right next to each other. So then we're sitting right next to each other, bro. Whole time, whenever I say it in English, they're translating, back and forth. I'm like, yo, y'all better stop. Then I eventually blacked them. I'm like, yo, I understand it too. And it sucks that people don't like to let us live a normal life. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%.
And how did your friends deal with you being with your brother, and like how did they adapt? Because your brother probably was always around you.
My friends actually were great growing up, so I still talk to most of them, like not all the time, but growing up, like I consider my cousin like Minnie, Tobia, Lamara, like a bunch of my friends. Growing up, it was awesome. Like they treated him like they were his own and stuff like that. And now, obviously, now that I'm older, Benoit, Vinny, a lot of my friends that I hang out with more often, Sergio and stuff like that. They treat him just like. But when he was younger, obviously he was bad. Now I guess it's almost like he matured. So now it's like, if somebody had to pick who's autistic, me or my brother would probably pick me because I'm more of the crazier one than he is.
Okay.
But my friends treat him like family, and that's what it's all about.
That's good. So now, David, how is he when you take him to like new places, like in the public? How is he in public? Like now he's getting a bit older. How is he like now in public?
Like I said, he's very normal when it comes to like some stuff, but like when we go out to eat, I'll be walking and he does sign language for eat and he tries to say what we're eating. I'm like, dude, you asked me this 5 times already. Like, why you keep asking me this? Like, that's what I mean. Like, sometimes you wouldn't even think he has autism, but like he does show, some things where he is autistic, but in public, like he's awesome. Like if I told him sit right here, he won't move, he won't touch anything, whatever it may be. So in terms of that, he's awesome. I mean, I could leave him in a car if I wanted to while a car's running and I go inside somewhere and stuff like that. I know he's not going to try and steal my car. My car already got stolen, so it's not like that matters. But that's another story. But basically, I could trust him in a car. I could trust him here. I just can't leave him by himself in my place or at my parents' house because someone rings the doorbell. I don't know what he's going to do. He might answer. He might not. And I don't want to take a chance. So.
Gotcha. So now, so like with your busy schedule, like you said, you do a corporate job during the daytime, and then you do the promotion parties. I see you all the time on Instagram. I thought I partied a lot, but you're something else. Every weekend, every day, he's promoting a new event. I'm like, man, I thought I partied a lot, but this dude is something else. But like, how do you manage your time to spend time with your brother? Because it's only you and him, right?
Yes, me and my brother are only siblings. Basically, what I do is, like I watch him some days where I could spend time with him while I work. Like he could, obviously, go lay in his bed or whatever it is. Because I stay at my parents' house pretty much 3 days a week, to help them with my brother. And then weekends, like honestly, I get home so late because, like I said, for the club stuff, like we book DJs and we have to make sure we're there, make sure everything's good, and stuff like that. So sometimes I don't get home till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up at like 10:30 because he's expecting me at a certain time to do a certain thing. So, like I don't sleep a lot, and people are like, "Do you ever sleep?" I'm like, "No, I really don't," because I don't want to let my brother down. Because he always wants to see me. And the minute he sees, because like I told you before, my car got stolen, so I'm in a rental right now.
Yeah.
So the minute he sees me pull into my parents' driveway, he comes like, you can actually hear him running down the stairs and like opening the door to make sure it's me. And then he'll do sign language for Starbucks. He's obsessed with coffee or Dunkin' Donuts, depending what day it is and stuff like that. So it's definitely not easy working corporate, booking the DJs and like the artist stuff, and then obviously making time for family and stuff like that. But one thing I will never put to the side is my family and also my brother. So those are the two things I will never put aside. I'll give up something before I do that.
He's real lucky to have a brother like you, Dave. Because I see all the time. I'm like, yo, how did this guy do it? I'm like, this guy just did a whole man at nighttime, and I'm like, 9 o'clock in the morning, he has sunglasses on, getting coffee with his brother. I'm like, yo, this guy's something else. I'm like, this guy probably.
It also it helps. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Everybody that knows me knows I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't do any of that. So like, literally, like I come home, I go right to sleep, and I'm not gonna wake up hungover or anything like that. I live like a pretty much, as they say, like a drug-free and alcohol-free life. So that's why. And if you see me take a shot, it's either, I shouldn't be telling you this, it's either full of water or it's like cranberry juice or something like that, just so people can leave me the hell alone. So,
yeah, David, don't worry, buddy. I go through the same problem. When I don't know if you ever been to the club La Boom in the story. Well, best club, that club, I love that club. I'm always in there. When I go to solo. So I'm always had people be like, yo, shot. I'm like, yo, these guys. So I always walking out with a Diet Coke bottle or Coca-Cola bottle. I'm like, yeah, shot. So they think I'm drinking a Hennessy shot to them, but I actually got Coke in them. I'm like, but I don't drink. So don't worry, I do the same thing.
Yeah, La Boom's a good spot. Shout out to DJ Camilo. Camilo always does La Boom and Funk Flex too. They do La Boom too. So shout out to that.
Yeah, I definitely got to try Funk Flex. I heard that place is lit too, but La Boom is my go-to. I don't know why, but I love that place so much. So many fun memories. I love that place so much. Yeah. So now, with you, the nightlife life, right, you got, bro, you go to clubs, stuff like that. Have you ever took your brother out with you to experience that life, to experience like stuff like that? Nah.
All right. So how do I approach this? So I did an autism event with my best friend, Benoit, at Avenue Beach Club. This was several years ago. He came to that with my mother and my aunt because it was a daytime event. It was on the beach. Avenue Beach Club was one of the sickest venues in New Jersey. It was on the beach and stuff like that. So he came to that, and I had like celebrities there, I had big DJs there, and everybody was so nice to my brother, and my mom. My dad was like, "I'm not going. No offense, I don't want to go where you work," but like they came and stuff like that. And in terms of at night, no, because my brother goes to sleep the same time every night and stuff like that. Like I've been asked so many times, but my one friend Peter, he used to own Aces, which was a strip club. He was like, I want your brother to, he's a very close friend of mine. He's like, I want you to bring your brother. We're going to do a huge birthday party for him. I was like, I kind of got to get permission from my mother. So I go to my mom. I'm like, hey mom, listen, Peter Aces wants Steven to have his birthday party at the strip club at Aces, New York. And she's like, are you out of your freaking mind? She's like, first of all, a strip club? No. Second of all, he goes to sleep at 10 o'clock at night. You think he's going to make it till 4 a.m.? And she's like, third of all, I got to make sure he's protected. I'm like, I'll have security all over and stuff like that. Don't worry about that. But in terms of nighttime, no. But the funniest thing is, it's funny you said that. Like, all my girl followers, I don't know what it is. Girls love my brother. Like, they're all like, can you bring your brother out? Can you bring your brother out? I get more messages about my brother than they do me. I'm like,
wow,
focus on me. Like, my brother doesn't go out, And so that's like, and another question, like, kind of topic is like, where girls are like, how tall is your brother? I'm like, listen, he's tall. He's only an inch taller than me. So, we're both pretty tall. So that's another question I get asked a lot. So.
Yeah. Talking about girls, like you, because you're a young guy. Girls probably come to you all the time with the amount of events like, hey, can you throw us a ticket? Can you help us out, David? Come on. How do you manage, like, how does your brother react to you when you bring a girlfriend around? Like, how did you react to that whole situation change?
So we recently just ended about a month ago, me and my former girlfriend. Basically, he gets so attached. So pretty much it's like the girl, whoever my next girlfriend is going to pretty much have two boyfriends, me and my brother. My brother gets very attached to the point where it's like, if we go out, he wants to come out with us, and stuff like that. Like with my most recent ex, like she would always invite him out. So it'd always be like, hey, my brother's name's Steven. So she's like, hey, bring Steven out. Like, hey, let's bring him to Hibachi. Hey, let's bring him out here. Let's bring him out here and stuff like that. She was very good with that. with him, and she always wanted to spend time with him. Because for me, that's where I have the juggling problem. Is not only do I work corporate, not only do I work the club stuff, not only do I have family, I have my brother, and I have to, make time for a girlfriend. And she used to live in Philly. She lives in Philly, and like Philly's not exactly close to me and stuff like that. So for me, it was more. You have to like. I actually had to sit there and write down like how I can make time for everybody. It's not easy, but I did it, and I always do it. I want to make sure everybody gets. It's not fair to her. I spend more time with him, and vice versa. But like I said, I had to break up with an ex before because she made me choose between her and my brother, and I thought she was kidding. I'm like, you're not serious, are you? She's like, yeah, you spend so much time with him. I'm like, well, I invite you out. You're supposed to come, come with us. And pretty much it got to a point where she's like, I need you. And I thought she was kidding the whole time. So day after, she asked me the same question. She's like, can I see you? I'm like, yeah, no problem. She's like, can we talk? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you have to choose between your brother and me. She's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, okay, well, this is a pretty easy decision for me. I'm choosing my brother, so I'll see you later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Like a thing.
That's crazy. That's
anybody
crazy.
that knows, yeah,
that's
like
especially
anybody that knows
brother.
me, yeah, especially anybody that knows me knows I might look mean, I might not smile a lot and stuff like that, but I have a heart full of gold, and that's for anybody. Anybody that I'm close to, anybody that knows me, knows how loyal I am. And that's in relationships, like in everything. So like I said, it just hurt me because like, how can you make me choose between somebody that's not like me and you? They're autistic, who depends on me, who one day if something happens to my parents, I'm responsible for it. And you're gonna make me choose between family or you. Like, it was a no-brainer to me. So, like I've been in those situations and stuff like that. So it's not easy, but like I do make time and stuff like that. And, I have to say the majority of my exes have been very good with that.
That's good.
Yeah, like treating my brother just like how they would treat anybody else. So that's the most important thing to me.
100%, 100%. Because I don't know how you do, bro. Juggling a girlfriend, brother, family, and your club life, your corporate job.
Let me put you this way. I've never had an ex-girlfriend complain I didn't see her enough. I always make time. I always do it. And luckily, obviously, since the pandemic, I'm working from home for my corporate job. So for me, it's like I could stay at her place for a little bit and vice versa. So for me, it's a little bit easier. And like I said, my corporate company is awesome when it comes to like my brother too. Like they do a lot of things to help me out, my brother. And that's why I've been with on and off. I was in my company for 3.5 years. I've been with my company again. I left and then I came back for 7 years. So they're very good, and they actually help contribute to autism for my brother too. So I'm very thankful for my corporate company.
That's good. That's good. Now, what's your brother's daily routine now? Like his daily routine. What do you his routine?
All right. So when I'll give you three situations actually. So when he goes to work, he wakes up early, watches his cartoon, SpongeBob, eats breakfast, goes to work, comes home, eats. Then we go to the gym because I take him to the gym with me. And then he'll lay in bed and go to sleep. When he doesn't work, if I have to watch him while I work, we'll just watch, Let's Make a Deal, Price is Right. We'll have lunch. Then after I'm done working, we'll go to the gym, we'll have dinner and do all that stuff. And then weekends, he knows what the weekends is. We go to Starbucks on Saturdays. We go to Dunkin' Donuts on Sundays. I try not to have him cheat too much because my brother used to weigh, 343 pounds, about 3-4 years ago. Because my brother's 6'6". So he's a big guy. So, I want to make sure he doesn't cheat too much. So that's kind of our routine, and he just wants to like lay next to me and stuff like that. It's actually kind of funny. It's almost like having a dog, but obviously, like your dog always wants to lay next to you.
That's the best comparison you had. You compare your little brother to a dog, bro?
No, because because dogs always want to be around you and stuff like that. So like, it's cool. Like, like I told you, like whenever, something bad happens, or if I have a bad day, or, whatever it may be, it's like, he's that breath of fresh air. I'm like, when I'm like, oh, life sucks, it's like, no, it actually doesn't, because he makes it better.
And you said he works. How many hours does he like usually work in a day?
Well, before the pandemic, he would work like 8 hours. It's like all screwed up now
Wow,
and stuff like that. Yeah, so
eight
he
hours
would
a
work like
day.
a, yeah, he would work a
Oh, wow, yeah.
full,
He works
and then
wilder
before,
than
and
people I know.
yeah, and then obviously before the pandemic, my corporate company would let me leave because he leaves early on Friday, so I go pick him up from work, and stuff like that. So a lot of things have changed since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, he works, he gets paid, he gets everything. So
Oh, wow. And if you don't mind asking, what did you do like work wise?
he works an assembly line for a company. So basically, it's pretty much people with like disabilities, so Down syndrome, autism, learning disability, whatever it is. They have job coaches there. So my brother had a job coach. He doesn't need one obviously anymore because he knows what to do. But like he works on the assembly line and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So now you say he's nonverbal, right? Let's
Mhm.
say he's outside and he wants to talk to you, right? And like say, David, come pick me up. Would he text you with like, or like, how does that work?
So it's funny you just mentioned that. So my brother's probably gonna get a talking laptop or computer. I don't know the technical term of it, but um, anybody that's around me pretty much asks the same question as you. You just know. Like if you stay around me, you know. So like if he's hungry, like he'll do eat, sign language for eat. He knows some sign language, but not a lot. Like you know what time, like when it's 11 a.m. on during the week, he points to the TV. You know he wants prices right. Everything's a routine. So
Gotcha.
anything he needs, I already know what he wants because it's part of his routine.
Okay. And let's say like you're not you do the club, like let's say you want to talk to you, right? Would he text you with like, hey David, I want to talk to you when you're at the club or something like
No,
that? Or how would he know?
no, he like I said, my brother doesn't have a phone or anything like that. So I
Yeah,
just
okay,
the only time I talk to him is when I go see him, and that's why I go to my
okay,
parents' house so
gotcha.
much.
Okay, gotcha. So okay, so everything's basically you talk to him in person, everything like that.
Yep.
Okay, okay. So that's dope. That's dope. So now you're you're a pretty big dude. I see your pictures, buddy. Yeah, I would walk the other way, mad. How do you seem to control yourself, keep yourself under control? Like now you guys are older now. You how do you? Because he's also your baby brother. That's a whole nother defense. Because like
Yeah.
I have little sisters.
I'm very
But
protective of my brother.
yeah,
Yeah.
same thing with my little sisters. I have three little sisters, and
You know
we're
how
all
it
2 years
is.
apart, and they're all the same way. They start cussing if people want to stay at me. How do you manage? Like, how do you react to people that look at your brother differently or like making faces, like etc. etc.
Uh, when I was younger, it wasn't good. I didn't really fight or anything like that, but I was very more outspoken about it. I'd be like, is there, like, is there an effing problem? Or, be like, can I help you? Or whatever it is. But like, my dad has a very bad temper. My mom is very laid back. So I kind of get both those. But the one thing I will give both my parents is like, they're very well controlled with it. So like people laugh, people might do whatever. It's just something. It's like I say before, like what am I going to do? Beat them up and then me get in trouble and me maybe get jail time? Is it really worth it? Like I'll be away from my brother if anything,
Yeah,
more than help. So I just keep that mindset of everything. It's not. I mean, you go through it too. It's not easy. People stare. People mumble under their
without that.
breath. People.
It's just
You know what they're
it's
saying too. So
yeah, it's
like
like
that's the
crazy,
worst
but it's
part.
like I don't know. Like I kid you, another story, a funny story I tell you. Me and my boy went to go get ice cream. One of my good friends, my right hand man to school, and we went to go get ice cream, bro. I don't know if you guys have Ralph's out there in New Jersey. I know,
Yeah, of
you know.
course.
Oh, all right. So yeah, pizza's already garbage. So at least you have good ice cream right there.
Wow.
Yeah, can't say that much. So like me and my boy went to go get Ralph's. So I'm going to get my ice cream, and I'm coming on the way back, and these little kids, I'm like, I don't care. These little kids are little kids. Little kids, couple of third or fourth graders, they start following me. Like you know how like you see the teachers
Of
put the
course.
line, you see the kids over, and kids start following me, and I'm like, and then I see my friend running the other way. I'm looking at myself, where the hell's this guy going? I'm like, what happened? Like those kids are following. I'm like, what? Ain't no serious. And I feel like these parents don't teach their kids that not everyone's the
You
same.
just you just said it. So pretty much my parents always taught me because like I said, I'm Italian and German, which is two of very strict nationalities. So,
Italian? Where Italian?
oh
Where
my
you from Italian?
God.
What's that part of town you?
Calabrese. So,
Gotcha.
basically, you know, I come from a strict family where it's like, you know, like I told you before, it's like school first, you know, everything family first and stuff like that. So for me, it's just like they taught me, they're like, just walk away. Just, I know it's not the easiest thing to do, just walk away, because you don't know. I mean, somebody could be following you. You'd be like, hey, what the F you looking at? And they could pull out, it's 2021. People have guns, people have knives, people have weapons now. You don't know, you know?
100%.
And I would rather, you know, walk away from a situation than make a situation worse. I mean,
Yeah.
there were times where I made situations worse with my brother. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
for the most part, anybody knows me knows I'm not a tough guy at all. Like, I might look at it and stuff like that.
I mean, you kind of, no offense, David, before having the show, before we met you and stuff like that, you kind of look like a tough guy, David. I mean, before
No,
I met
I'm
you,
not. I'm not.
because,
Nah.
because on your profile, dude, you got pictures like with a cat back. I'm like, yo, this dude,
And
like,
it's so funny because like all my friends say the same thing. Like one of my good friends, Greg, you know, Mikey Nine, and like Errol, Tommy, and all them. They're like, "Do you ever smile? Seriously, do you ever smile? Do you always have to look like a tough guy and stuff like that?" I'm just.
I mean, you kind of do, buddy. You never smile. Never smile, David.
I
Come on.
know. But it's just like people get that because, like I said, I'm like 6'4", 6'5", and I'm like a pretty big dude. So like for me, they're just like, you know, like, all right, this guy's effing nuts. I'm like, no, I'm actually pretty normal. The reason I look like that because I don't want somebody to talk to me. That's pretty much why I look like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going through that, growing up and stuff like that, it kind of taught me, like you were saying, like, don't these parents teach you things like that? My parents taught me to respect. And honestly, if I didn't have an autistic brother, could I have been like those people that just like how for you, you know, laugh or stare or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Who knows? But my parents are very old school with that stuff and taught me manners. Like, so it's different.
100%. 100%. Man, first, you talking about Italian, but I don't know, you gotta try this dish. My right hand man's Italian, right, bro? Petey. He made these Zeppelis one time, right, bro? Zeppelis, oh my God. With stuffed Reese's inside. Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
You can stuff anything in there.
Bro, we made stuff, bro. I was like, I was eating, I felt like I was eating crack. Bro, I was chilling about my
Yeah, they're awesome.
On top of that, he had an espresso machine. So I'm drinking espresso shots, but then I'm like, yo, I'm in coma right now. Where the hell am I? Yeah, that's what the yo. Yeah. So now, is your brother a picky eater when it comes to food? Or like he doesn't eat everything like
No.
normal way?
So he pretty much eats everything except eggs, anything with mayonnaise, and tuna fish. Those are like the three things. Eggs, mayo, and tuna fish are like the three things that if they have something in it, he won't eat.
Gotcha. And you said that you live a couple of blocks away from your folks, right, Dave?
Yes.
How did your brother manage not seeing you every day, especially the way you guys are so close?
So when I moved, so I lived on my own because I played football in college. So for me, I lived away at school. So I lived close to school because I had to be close to my brother. So I didn't have many choices for football to go to. And then when I officially moved out again, my brother didn't take it too well. So basically, he was younger when I played football in college. So he was like, you know, like 14, 15 years old. So for him, it's like, for him probably thinking, he's like, oh, I got the whole house to myself and everything like that, you know? But like when I moved out to where I've been here for a long time, like probably like 10 years, 11 years. He did not take it too well. So pretty much he would go in my room, stare out the window and stuff like that, to the point where I actually caught him doing it. I pretended to leave. He went from his room to my room and stared out the window. And for me, I remember I got home and I was like hysterically crying. And I was like, yo, Mom, I'm moving back home again. She's like, no, you're not. And she's like, he'll get it. She was like, he'll get over it. Just trust me. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. I even told my dad, because my dad is very honest. I was like, Dad, should I move home? He goes, no, you need to have a life. You know, like, it's okay to have your life with your brother, but you can't revolve everything around it. He understands when you're not around. It's not like he cries or he does something. It's just hard for me because it breaks my heart because it's been
You're like
Yeah,
his protection, like you're like
yeah.
a father, basically, like a old around, like making sure he's
I'm the one that does
okay.
everything with him. I'm the one that does everything with him. My parents do everything with him too, but I'm the one that will take him for a walk. I'll take him to play basketball, bowling, everything. I'm the one that always hangs out with him. So for me, it really hit home. And, it's been like 10, 11 years and I still think about it.
Wow, you've been out for 10, 11 years. Well, wow, God bless, buddy. God bless. And now you're getting older up there, and you're always talking about having a family of your own. I always see your
Yep.
pictures. Always spoke
Yep.
to you. You're talking about family on your own. How you like? Because it always bothered me because I have a 3-year-old niece. I have a
Mhm.
3-year-old niece. She's a shining. She's the most shining, most important person to me. I didn't care about my blows no more. I didn't care about my
Yep.
blow. I don't care about these. It always scares me that when she's gonna ask me, Uncle Umi, why you're not tall like Uncle Petey is.
Yep.
So now, do you have this fear when you have kids? Like, how are you gonna explain to them why Uncle? What's his name again, buddy? Your brother?
My brother's name's Steven.
Why Uncle Steve is different than do you have that in your head or no?
Yeah, but I mean, listen, kids aren't going to really understand until they experience it. You could tell a kid
Right.
something, but until they experience it, they understand and stuff like that. And for me, it's just like, it's almost like, listen, I was young,
Yeah.
where I was 8 years old, hanging out with 8-year-olds, and, they understood. I didn't really have to explain it to them, they just
Gotcha.
understood. So for me, it's a conversation obviously one day, because, I do plan on getting married and, having kids and stuff like that. And, you know,
I
taking
pray
baby
they're
steps
God's
first.
fans. I
Yeah,
pray they're God's
seriously.
fans.
Uh, so for me, it's very important to me to have a conversation, but it's one thing to have a conversation versus them experience it. So
Okay.
that's the biggest thing.
100%. 100% gotta agree over there. Cause like I even tell my bro, like, what are we gonna tell her? Like even and then now I think about my own kids when I have my kids down the road, like when they ask me like, yo, Daddy, why are you short? Why is Uncle Petey tall? Or why is Uncle Antonio bigger? I'm like, ask your mom, Dad. Ask your mom, Dad. I don't know what to say, bro. It's like like it keeps me up at night. It's like a topic that keeps me up and scares me. Like, yo, what's gonna be my answer?
Like for
You know what I
me,
mean?
it's more like it's different. Obviously, for you, it's your height, so it's like you really can't hide it. My brother can
100%.
hide his my brother can hide his autism because people
Yeah,
just think he's quiet. You know,
yeah,
so it's a little different. So for you, that's obviously gonna be a little bit of a different conversation versus me, where
100%.
but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I always tell everybody's different.
yeah, hundred
God
percent.
God made everybody different. If everybody was the same, everybody would be married, everybody would be living a life and
Yeah,
everything else. And unfortunately, it's not like that. So,
100%. That's what I tell my boys. I tell myself because like listen, my disability. I won't lie, not lie. There's plus and minus. It's like a bittersweet life I live.
oh
But I tell
yeah,
my boys, I'm blessed that God made me the way I am because it gave me my own personality. It gave me my own way to interact with people. You know what I mean? If I was normal, I probably wouldn't have this personality I have. When I had the club shit like that, so I'm kind of happy.
and the funniest thing is that so real quick story. So this was years ago. I remember me, my mom, and brother went to a diner. There was some
Yeah,
girl staring. Some girl was staring at us. My mom goes, "I think that girl wants to talk to you." So I'm like, "Oh,
yeah.
really?" I was like, I was single at the time, so I'm like, "All right, I'll go talk to her." So I'm talking to her, and she starts laughing, and she's like, "Who's that guy over there?" I'm like, "That guy?" Like, my brother? She's like, "Yeah, he's cute." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I'm like, this girl, I thought she was interested in me. She was actually interested in my brother. And I had explained to her, like, oh, he's autistic and stuff like that. This was like many, many years ago. So stuff like that. So,
So did you
um,
help him out? Did you set him up or no?
no.
Come on, bro. You can't. You just have you were worried about yourself so much. You didn't help your little brother. Come on. I actually had a boy. I
Yeah.
actually have a boy like that. I swear to God, with this kid, I cannot take him anywhere. Because everywhere we go, when he used to go to the bathroom, like when he go to the bathroom, girls come to my table. Who's that? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? On my Snapchat, I used to get messages, bro. Snapchat, I used to get messages. Who's that guy in the Snapchat? Can you hit him off for us? I'm like, yo, what am I ugly? I'm a piece of steak or something? Me? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
It's
That's good.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just funny because like for me, it's like in being in a club scene, obviously a lot of attractive women. So
yeah,
for me, it's like it's funny because like my brother kept me humble. When I was
Yeah.
younger, I was like, oh, I'm taking the tens. I'm gonna, I just want to show her off and everything like that. And now I'm at an age where it's like, I'll take it, not lower my standard, like I'll take an 8 or 9 with a good personality. Like
You're
as
saying
you
that
get
now. You're
older,
saying that now.
yeah,
You're saying that now. You're saying, that's
no,
a different story.
no, but for me, it's like more like, like my brother keeps me humble because like the most important thing to me, yeah, obviously we all need to be attracted to the girl and have a good personality and stuff like that. But for me, I need to make sure she has the personality that'll get along with my brother. So
Gosh,
it's not like I have to screen her out for just me. I have to screen her out obviously for my brother too. So
100% with brother, because that's your right. That's your basically, like I said before, you're basically like a father to when your parents are not right. Like he
oh,
counts on
100%.
you, and like you guys are only two siblings, like only you and him, so that makes it more like how do I say it, harder, a little bit more weight on you
Oh,
because you're the only
100%.
one. More weight on you because you're the only brother. Me, I got
Yep.
three sisters. So I bounce both of them around. And like, hey, I can't reach that. You can't help me with that one. The other one, okay, get my shit over there. Can't reach that. I was like, yeah, can't reach that. So I use that. But you're like, you're only one. But I'm like, I'm so happy and I'm so, God bless you and your brother. He's so lucky to have you, bro. I'm gonna say all of that because I see you all the time, social media, everything like that. You
I
always,
appreciate it.
if you're not doing your own clubbing thing or now you're doing your corporate job, you're always around him. And you're always showing him to the world. You're not embarrassed of the fact that, oh, my brother's different. And
I'm
I
not
really love that about you, bro.
I don't want it to be something where it's like I'm not so much showing it off. I'm not so much like people are like, oh, you get too personal. But like people
Yeah.
don't understand that life. And it's
Yeah,
kind of
100%.
like a way for
Until you
people
have
to
it in your whole
understand.
household.
Yeah.
Until you have it in your whole household, then you understand that life.
Yeah, like I said, it's like people just need to understand. It's just like I'm not too much getting personal. Like I keep a lot of personal stuff. Like usually my relationships I keep personal because like obviously for certain reasons and stuff like that. But like for me, it's like I show the world my brother because like it's okay to be autistic. It's okay to be cool. Like autistic people are cool. They're just like us, stuff like that. And there's other forms of autism. Like I know you had Steph on your show. Um,
Yeah, stuff.
yeah, so like I'm good friends with Steph. So like, obviously, like she gives good point of views. I talk to her all the time and stuff, and she shows Bash, and for the show, it's okay. Like autistic people, are just like us, but they do have other tendencies, and it's okay. So
Yeah. And talking about Bash, happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. Have a
happy
good one
birthday,
today.
Bash.
I think
Yeah,
you're 15 today, 15 years old.
yeah.
Have a good one, buddy. Yep, 100% agree. I remember when I had Steph, we had the same conversation. When I had Steph on the show, she's the same thing. And it's just that I hope one day this world, like, now I think there's more and more acceptance to it. The more generation we are like, there are going to be people different than you. Then not everyone's going to be looking the same. And I think that, like you said, it keeps life interesting. You know what I mean? If we were all the same, we'd all be boring. It'd be a pretty boring,
Exactly.
boring world. So at the end of it, I like now, hope now, then these school next generation that they teach them, like, not everyone's going to be tall. Not everyone's going to be short. Not everyone's going to be skinny. Not everyone's going to be chubby. Not everyone's going to be
Yep.
that. Like, we're all different. So hopefully that ways. But man, hopefully I'm just kind of mad. I just have another question before I end the show.
Yeah.
Did you make your brother a Giants fan? Let me just say that one. Did you put him through that misery? Please, come on.
No, it's not. Listen, my dad's had season tickets for the Giants. I've been a Giant fan. I'm a Giant, Yankee, and Knicks fan for life. Yeah, well, we beat you in the Super Bowl, so it's all right. Twice.
I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Let's not get that clear. I'm a Russell Wilson fan. This is the only jersey I had available tonight.
And it's so funny because, like, so I get a haircut every week. I'm very picky when it comes to my haircut, stuff like that. So my barber,
that's your look. You know what I mean? You gotta be creepy with the barbers.
Yeah, so for me, it's like my barber, Anthony. Shout out to Anthony. He's a huge Giant fan. So, like, my brother always wears Giant stuff to the barber shop and stuff like that. So it makes my brother feel comfortable. So, like, he talks to my brother, like, oh, Steven, how are you? We watch the Giants and stuff like that. So it's like, it's cool.
That's good. Thank you, David, for coming on today. Thank you for coming on the show to talk about your brother, man. It's like a great relationship. I see you and your brother. And your brother's really lucky to have you. And the way you take care of him, the way you watch him, stuff like that. And so much stuff you do behind in your personal life with your brother. And he's really lucky to have you. And your family
Thank you
as
so
well.
much.
Because like you said before, you used to give you, I played high school football in high school. I was the shortest player on my team, shortest captain my coach ever had. So I remember that life when the weekend, that Saturday night, when he gets those text messages,
You
party
know it,
going on,
yeah.
and
Yep.
I'm like, hey, buddy, and I'm like, and then you had to miss most of that because you wanted to give your parents a life to live on the weekend, and they'll also be lucky to have you, bro, and hope there's more people like you, bro, and
I appreciate it.
that showed this compassion and love, and I hope you smile more in your pictures that people don't think you're a tough guy.
Hey, listen, I try to smile. For everybody that doesn't believe I smile, I have very nice teeth. I have white teeth. It's just, it's just something I just don't like to do. But I appreciate you taking time out to, talk to me about autism, because I think it's a subject that, more and more people are getting born with it and stuff like that. And especially with disabilities, people think because you have a disability means you're not cool. And that's not the case. Everybody's just like us. So I appreciate it.
100%. Thank you, David. Thank you. Have a good day, buddy. Thank
you too.